Good afternoon, Shraddha, Utkarsh, Manshi, Arya, Divedi, Tanvi, Prakhar, Bhumia, Ria, and Sahiba. Good afternoon to each one of you. So, today we shall wrap up the lesson um, determiners. So, before I wrap up, I'll just go with the things, exercise. So, this is the first exercise for you. So dear students, like as I told you, determiners. Just a quick wrap up because before we continue with the exercise. So see, this was the um, summary of determiners. Okay, so what are determiners? Determiners are words that are used in front of nouns. Okay, that is important for us to know. Okay, determiners are words that are used in front of nouns. So yesterday I told you one important fact that adjectives are also used before nouns. Then how are adjectives different from determinants? So always remember that adjectives are those words which describe nouns, whereas determiners don't describe noun. Determiners only determine whether the nouns have one. Determiners are those words which show the quantity, or you can say the quality, quantity you can say, or number, you can say quantity or number of nouns. Okay, and show the relation actually. Like this is my pen, so it shows the pen belongs to me. Okay, so these are determinants. Determinants will not describe adjectives, sorry, nouns, like adjectives do, but determiners will certainly show the number, quantity, all this, okay, of nouns. Um, so determiners specifies something, okay, whereas adjectives describe the noun. So these are the differences between determiners and adjectives. Okay, now you can see, here you can see there are about 50 determiners. Okay, and when when do nouns require determiners? I explained you the other day. Singular nouns always need a determiner. Singular nouns always need a determiners. That you please remember. Singular nouns always need a determiner. In plural nouns, the determiner is optional. Okay. So determiners may or may not be used with uncountable nouns depending on context. Okay. So always remember, singular nouns always need a determiner, and in plural nouns determiner is optional. Okay, in plural nouns what happens? Determiner is optional. Okay, now there are about 50 different determiners. Like for example, articles, you can see a and the, these articles belong to determiners. Possessives belong to determiners like my, your, our, their, his, hers, whose. Then demonstratives belong to determiners. Demonstratives means these, that, these, those, which, etc. Quantifiers. Quantifiers means few, a few, many, much, each, every, some, any, etc. They are called quantifiers. Okay, so because they show quantity like few, a few, many. Some of them are countable determiners, some of them are uncountable determiners. Like for example, few you can count, a few also you can count, many also you can count, so they are called countable determiners. Whereas much you can only measure. Okay, some can be countable also, uncountable also. Okay, like for example, if I say there are some boys, so some in this sentence is countable, whereas if I say there is some sugar, in that case this sum will be uncountable. So whether a determiner is countable or uncountable is dependent on the noun which is used after the determinants. So if the noun is countable noun, in that case determiner will also be countable. If the noun is uncountable, the determiner will be uncountable. And as I told you, like here sum. So a sum is both a countable determiner as well as uncountable determiner. So it depends on in what context you use it. Okay. Then any also same. It can be a countable determiner also. It can be uncountable determiner also. Like for example, if I say there is there any uh, is there any book with you? So it will be a countable determiner. So but if I say is there any is there any sugar left, for example, then in that case any will be uncountable. So a determiner can be both countable as well as uncountable also. Okay, they are together called quantifiers. Countable and uncountable determiners together, they are called quantifiers. Here you can see here the numbers 1, 2, 3, 20, 40. These are numbers and they belong to determiners also. Ordinals like first, second, last, next. Okay, these are ordinal numbers. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 24, etc. is determiners, and here ordinals also first, second, last, next, etc. also they are also determiners. Okay, then determiners are used to state the unit number of people, things or other nouns, to state possessiveness, like it shows possession, like ownership. Like for example, you can see here possessives my, your, our, their, his, hers, whose. So determiners are also used to show possession, to specify someone or something. These, that. Okay, suppose this boy, that boy. So determiners are also used to specify, especially the demonstratives. Like here you can see these, that, these, those, which. Okay, they specify the noun actually. Okay, so you can see there are so many functions of determiners. Then state how things or people are distributed. Then to state the difference between nouns, like countable noun or uncountable noun. All this. Then multipliers like double, twice, three times, fractions, half, a third, two fifths, intensifiers, what, such, quantifiers, all, both, most, articles a, and the, then demonstratives these, that, these, those. Okay, so like for example, and one more thing, you see what I told you yesterday. Determiners are used before nouns. For example, we want double portions, so double is determiner and portions is noun. I drove a at half speed, so speed is noun, therefore half is determiner here. Such impudence, such is noun, determiner, impudence is noun. I like most people, most is determiner, people is here noun. So you understood? So a determiner will always be followed by a noun. Get a book from the shelf. Okay, so get a book, get a book. So book is noun. A being an article is also a determiner. Demonstrative, that tree is in another. Okay, that. Okay, so this is and then distributives, each, every, either, neither. I have a gift for each person. Okay, so distributive, each person, each, every, either, neither, they are the examples of distributive determiners, or they are in short called distributives. Then possessives, there are two types of possessives. One is pronominal possessive, another is nominal possessive. So you can see the pronominal means the possessives which are formed from pronoun, and nominal means those determiners which are made from nouns. Okay, like Renatas, Adams, peoples. So they are nominal possessives, and pronominal means my, your, his, her, its. They are the examples of pronominal determiners. Like you can borrow Kim's video, but actually it is interchange, it should be here, it should be here, nominal actually. So and then interrogatives also, what, which, whose, like whose book is that. So it is interrogative determiners. Like which house is his. Okay, what color do you want. So if what, which, and whose are followed by a noun, then always remember that they are called determinants. Okay, then quantifiers, how many, cardinal number, ordinal, all this we have studied already. Now let us do some exercise. For example, I show you here one exercise. I show you, like here you can see Martin Cooper, a Motorola researcher and executive, is widely dashed to be the inventor. Okay, so you see the options here: 1, 2, 3, 4. So which one do you think is the correct answer? Martin Cooper, a Motorola researcher and executive, is widely dashed to be the inventor. Is widely, which one? Number B. Consider, considered, considering, have considered. So you can write number 1, number 2, uh, number 3, number 4. You can write. Okay. Yes, Tanvi, you are correct. Considered, it is number 2 only. Okay, so is widely considered to be the inventor. Number C, tell me, to be the inventor, and then number C, what will come? Number C, what will come? You see, to be the inventor of, yes, to be the inventor of the first mobile phone in 1973. So who has invented the first mobile phone? It is Martin Cooper. Martin Cooper. Okay, Martin Cooper, who was a Motorola researcher and executive. Uh, he has invented the first mobile phone in 1973. Now you can see there are dash categories of mobile phones. There are, number D, there are many categories. Okay, there are many categories of mobile phone. So these are all examples of determiners. See, many is followed by categories which are noun, which categories which is noun, therefore many is determiner. Here also you can see number B is widely considered. This is of course not determiners. Inventor of, it is also not determiner, but this is determiner. Number D is determiner. Okay, then number E, there are many categories of mobile phones dash from basic phones and feature phones. For example, number E, ranging, isn't it? Ranging from basic phones and feature phones. Ranging from basic phones and feature phones. It should be raising. Okay, sorry, ranging. Ranging from basic phones and feature phones dash as music phones. Like I think, no, like should be the answer here. There are many categories of mobile phones ranging from basic phones and feature phones, like, oh no, sorry, such as, because as is given here na, so it should be such. This is the correct answer. Such as music phones, camera phones, to smartphones. The dash commonly used data application. The dash, number G. The much more, most, many. The most commonly used data application on mobile phones. Okay, the most commonly used data application on mobile phones dash text messaging. Okay, so commonly used data application, so application is the subject here. Okay, commonly used data application, which is noun, therefore the verb should also be noun. So let's find out. Number H, is. Okay, so the The most commonly used data application on mobile phones is text messaging. Mobile phones generally dash power from batteries. Mobile phones generally mobile phones generally mobile phones generally mm, it should be obtain power from batteries. Okay, obtain. So here you can see it should be obtain. Okay, so why obtain? Because it's a factual passage. Okay, it's a factual passage, that is why it is obtained. Understood? It cannot be is obtaining or obtaining or obtain. Yeah, because it is factual passage. It deals with the present tense, therefore it should be obtained. So the most commonly used data application on mobile phones is text messaging. Mobile phones generally dash power, so obtain power from batteries which dash be recharged. Okay, so let's find out number J, which can be recharged. Okay, which can be recharged. The use of cell phones dash while driving as a safety measure. So the use of cell phones here, dear students, most of you make mistakes here. You see here the use of cell phones. Here the subject is the verb that will agree with the subject here is use. It's not cell phones. The use of cell phones. Therefore, the verb will be singular here because subject is singular, use. Okay. So, use of cell phones is banned. Okay. It cannot be was banned because it's a factual passage, and for the present time it is describing the common characteristics, okay, of feature phone. So, whenever we describe some common characteristics, okay, of a particular product, of a particular thing, then it should always be in the present tense. So it is we are talking about some basic characteristics of mobile phones. So it is a factual passage, and moreover it is showing it is describing about some characteristics, therefore it can never be in the past tense. So it should be is banned. So, and I also told you why is banned, because the subject which the verb will agree is use here, which is singular, therefore the verb should also be singular. The use of cell phones is prohibited or banned while driving as a safety measure. Okay, so it is not altogether determiners, but there are some determiners here, and here also you can see, for example, for example, I show you here. Okay, this also let us revise once quickly. How much many chairs do you need? So it's countable noun. Okay, so it should be here many. Okay, always remember many is used with countable nouns, whereas much is used with uncountable noun. Much, several, school will be participating. So countable noun, schools. Okay, so schools and several schools, not much, because much is used with uncountable noun. Several, much, students have arrived. So several students have arrived. Several is always plural. Remember, several is a determiner which is always plural. Therefore, several students have arrived. Okay, it cannot be student. Several is plural, so the noun should also be plural. Okay, then how much, many, information. Information is always singular. We cannot say informations, we have to say information. Therefore, as it is singular and it is uncountable, therefore how much. Okay, how much information does this brochure give? Next, we have only a few, a little sponsors for some much events. We have only a few sponsors, because sponsor is countable now. Sponsors is countable, therefore we have only a few. We have only a few sponsors for some events. We have only a few sponsors for some events. Okay, so like this. And then here also you can see a lot of things are given. This A1 and the, but this you can be able to do it. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, so dear students, we have almost completed all the topics. I think determiners have completed, then subject verb agreement and conversion like simple, complex, compound I have completed. Now several things like I tell you, for example, um, I tell you, when it comes to transformation of sentences, there are some examples which you need to remember. Like for example, I show you from here. I have to write it for you. If I were you, just hang on. Okay, reported speech rules. Now there I'll show you. Okay, so for example, I show you here. Okay, or here, no, here only, let me show you. Okay, so just say for example, transformation of sentences. There are several more also, like for example, if it is a he is too weak to walk. Okay, he is too weak to walk. So use so that, so that, this is one pattern. Another pattern will be like for example, although he is rich, he is very miser. Okay, for example, so here use though. You are asked to write a though like this. Okay, then there may be sentence like, for example, as soon as the teacher entered the class, the students stopped talking. Okay, so if you are to convert this sentence, you can use no sooner than, no sooner, and it is than. Okay, so I shall write the answers for you and then we will discuss. Okay, like he is too weak to walk. You have to write he is so weak that he cannot walk. Then another example, although he is rich, he is very miser. So if you have to use though, you have to write though he is rich, yet he is very miser. Always remember, if we use though, we need to also use yet. Whereas if we use although, there is nothing required. Although he is rich, he is very miser. You can write like this. But if we have to use though, in that case, with though we have to use yet. And another changes there, like as soon as the teacher, just a minute. Okay, as you can see here, as soon as the teacher entered the class, the students stopped talking. So I have to convert it into a sentence starting with no sooner. Okay, so no sooner did the teacher enter the class, then the students stopped talking. Okay, so dear students, just a minute, I'll show you this one. No? Okay. Okay, so now you can see transformation of, there are different some other types of transformation of sentences as well. Okay, so you have to remember these three types I have given you. I shall find out some more types for you in our next class. For example, he is too weak to walk. Okay, so how to change this sentence using so that he is so weak that he cannot walk. Okay, and you can also be given the vice versa, like you can also be given he is so weak that he cannot walk, so you have to write he is too weak to walk. Okay, and if it is he was so weak that he could not walk, so you have to write here he was too weak to walk. Understood? So in either way, this is the sentence can be given. Okay, you can be given this one in the examination and asked to make 2 or you can be given 2 sentence and you will be asked to make rewrite the sentence using so that. Okay, so you have to learn both the patterns. Next, although he is rich, he is very miser. You have to use though. See, although and though have the same meaning. Although and they though have the same meaning, but when you are using converting although sentence into though sentence, then you have to use yet in the second part after the comma. So though he is rich, comma, yet he is very miser. Though he is rich, comma, yet he is very miser. So you always remember, if we are using though, then we need to also use yet in the sentence. Okay, but when you use although, we do not need to use anything else in the second part, but with though we have to use yet in the second part. So please remember, okay, because these are the examples which belong to or which come under the category of transformation of sentences. Next, you can see as soon as the teacher entered the class, the students stopped talking. So use no sooner. Always remember, no sooner and as soon as, the meaning is same, but their structures are different. Okay, the meaning is same. No sooner means as soon as. Understood? No sooner means as soon as. So as soon as the teacher entered the class, the students stopped talking. So if you convert it with no sooner than, it should be no sooner did the teacher enter the class than. Always remember the second part, when we will convert the sentence with no sooner than, then the second part, always remember after the comma, we have to use THAN. We have to use THAN. So no sooner did the teacher enter the class, then the students stopped talking. If you are using no sooner, then we have to use first did here, because it is simple past tense. As soon as the teacher entered, ed is there, simple past tense, therefore here did will come. No sooner did the teacher enter. Here we have used did, therefore here enter, not entered. No sooner did the teacher enter the class, then the students, then THN here. Okay, so we use no sooner. They are used in pair. Okay, like though, yet, so that, to, then, no sooner than. All these patterns, all these structures are used in pairs. Okay, in pairs. So you have to remember these pairs. Okay, so no sooner than, And always remember, if it is past tense, the did will come here. But if it is simple present, like as soon as the teacher enters the class, the students stop talking. So you'll write no sooner does the teacher enter. Here it will be does if it is simple present, but if it is simple past like entered, it should be did here. And second part, it should be then. So please do remember these patterns because they come under the transformation of sentence category. Okay, so uh, okay, so dear students, that's all for the day. So we shall meet in our next class on Monday. It seems Monday. I shall come with something else, and if you want me to explain you any particular chapter, you can tell me now also. Okay, you can tell me now, or else you can text me later on. Okay, I shall teach you because my syllabus is over. It seems grammar also over. Now little bit of I think I need to take one or two class on writing skill. Okay, so writing skill I shall switch on to now, and grammar I'll keep sending you some links sometimes so that you can work out these exercises. Okay, because you need to be in touch with grammar exercise, otherwise you will forget. Okay, so thank you so much, dear students. We shall meet in the next class. Landscape of the soul, concept video on the chapter. Okay, okay, landscape of the soul, no? Okay. So landscape of the soul, I shall try to make if not a video, at least a podcast I'll try to make for you. Tanvi, thank you for the feedback. uh, so certainly before the exam I shall try to finish it off. Okay, so okay, thank you, dear students. Bye bye. Take care.